So whenever I see NFL expert, NFL insider, I do those quotes because you already know in this channel, there's so many times that these NFL experts are absolutely dog water. They're trash. They're not good. They say things that simply either aren't true or just idiotic. And they just do it so people click on their stuff or read their stuff or react to their stuff, right? It happens all the freaking time. Now, I will say overall wise, that is kind of why I skip past 99% of the stories out there because they just nonstop crap post and talk, right? But there are some times, very little times, that you actually get someone who sounds more logical and kind of you can go off of what they're saying. Now, this article was posted by Bengals Wire, and this is actually a NFL insider, or they call him an NFL expert, but they also call him an insider, um, from Yahoo Sports. Now, I'll be honest with you, I have not really had any negative, interactions with Yahoo Sports when it comes to them posting stuff. Usually when they post stuff, and I'm gonna say usually, they're actually pretty logical. So here's what the whole thing had to say. Coming in here from Charles Robinson on the U Pod to Win the Game podcast. Again, like I said, it is of course his podcast. I think it's on iTunes and all over the place. But this is a Yahoo Sports, I guess, journalist or analyst. I guess analyst, right? Yeah, we guess analyst. They call him an insider. He said there's probably an interesting dynamic right now between Burrow and his agent and the organization about being on the field for practice. Robin said, I would be stunned if the Bengals didn't do the right thing and make sure the extension is done by the time he gets on the field in the regular season. It's an easy agree. At some point, the business side will win out, and indeed, it feels like the extension will get done before the regular season. Until the questions about the extension will only increase, especially now that the hurdles such as extensions for other Bengals and Justin Herbert resetting the quarterback market has been cleared. Well, that's not true because T. Higgins still needs his contract. So that's actually not true that nothing has been cleared. What's funny is the statement that everything's been cleared is actually as a joke in all honesty because literally he got his contract, but T is the biggest contract outside of Joe Burrow. And then the next biggest contract is going to be Jamar Chase. Now, Jamar Chase, we won't figure that contract out until next year. But T right now is the biggest contract outside of Burrow. Most likely, Burrow sees the ballpark range of $260 million unless he gets a 10-year contract. Now, for T, that's going to be $100 million at least. It's like 100 to 110. That's going to be his contract. Chase's contract, we don't know about yet because Chase is going to get whatever Jay Jettis gets plus more. So Jay Jettis will reset the wide receiver market with his contract, and that's going to be what Chase ends up getting. So I don't agree with this that the hurdles for the other Bengals extensions are done. No, they're not done at all. I mean, yeah, we got Trey Hendrickson under a contract extension. We got Logan Wilson on an extension. That's nice. But those are $35 million and $20 million. We're not talking about 100, 110 of T. Higgins or 265 of, Joe Burrow. So I would temper expectations on that statement. While it didn't happen during the training camp as fans expected, a mini quiet stretch right now before week 1 might be the anticipated Burrow extension territory. I don't know how many people expected it to go on during training camp. I expected it to happen after training camp. Mainly because during training camp, everyone's focused on football. Everyone's focused on who's going to make the team, who's not going to make the team. I guarantee you, yes, keep in mind that a lot of this, Joe is out of it. Joe does get told what, the contract's going to be or what's being offered. But at the end of the day, his agent's the one who takes care of all the business and the, business aspects of it, right? That's why he has an agent. But I expected this to kind of go on and get finished right about this time. I expected that we play in 9 days against the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland, Ohio, right? These last 9 days is when I expected them to work and get done the contract. Because before this time, well, yes, they could have gotten it done. There's so many moving parts and things going on that, yes, I'm not saying they can't sit down and talk, but there's not really a perfect time to hash out everything, right? You have so many things going on, so many different ideas, so many different places. Now that everything is calmed down, relax, chill, everything is good, you can now sit down and really just, okay, we want A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and this is what we're going to do. Now it's a little bit easier than it was, let's say, for example, the last couple months. And with Joe's injury, he's rehabbing. It's even harder to get his contract done. Yes, you can bring him in and talk, but the guy's rehabbing. He's working with his unit. He has to be very vocal now because of his injury. He has to be more vocal because he can't actually go out there and play with the guys. So I expected it to be done really at this time period. And I do believe it will get done before week 1. I think this will get done in the next 9 days. Now, if it doesn't get done in the next 9 days, is that like time to hit the panic alarm or go crazy or get upset? No. And as I said in my last video, when Nick Wright was kind of trying to, in my opinion, fearmonger this whole subject, I don't think there's a problem until like week 7 or 8, right? Week 7 or 8, if there's no contract week 7 or 8, okay, there's something going on here. Something needs to get done, right? But even in the first, I would say even the first couple weeks of the season, I'm not even upset about that. It's just like 6, 7, 8, those time periods. Like after that point, I'm like, are you guys gonna get a contract done? Is there something going on? Do we not know what's going on? And as it says in this article, as this insider claims, that maybe there was something between the, him being in practice, him not being in practice because of injury. There could be a million different things. And again, at the end of the day, I would be lying if I said, contracts will always just clear cut like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. If that was how contract work, trust me, that would be so simple, so easy. People get done contracts within 10 seconds. That's why I didn't really like how Nick Wright was presenting it, where he was like, oh yeah, this is like clean and simple. You just go up, bam, get the contract done and leave. No, that's not how contracts work in any way possible. Contracts are a back and forth negotiation, and there's going to be some times where, and again, this is just life, where you just gotta walk away and say, okay, thank you for your offer. We're going to come back at another day, and we're going to renegotiate this. Let me think over things. I got to think over this contract, whether or not I like what you offered, or I don't like what you offered. There's so many moving parts, right? It's not just a walk in a room and sit down and say, okay, let's talk. Let's have a conversation. I think the best way to put it, Lamar Jackson's contract just got done. It took 4 years. The Ravens, when they signed Ronnie Stanley, it took them, I think it was like, I want to say 6-7 months. But then Mark Andrews, when they signed Mark Andrews, it took 3 days. So again, every single player is different. To really assume that this contract's going to take, this amount of time, especially when it's a quarterback contract. I promise you right now, Herbo's contract did not take just an off season, and neither did Jalen Hurts' contract. Jalen Hurts, okay, never mind. I would say Jalen Hurts might have took less time, just because I feel like that contract, he's a second-year guy. He finally looked good. He might just want to cash out. But everybody else, I will say, who just got paid, it took a lot longer than people think it did. Which is fine. It's perfectly fine. Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure, and I'm sure the Bengals do this, are also in this factor too, as I think Mike Brown said it best. He said, we want to make sure something works out for everybody. Everyone feels like this is fair and good for everyone. Not just one party, or not just this person or that person. Everyone feels like they're actually, getting correctly treated. So guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions though. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.